I'm T.C. Bradley. I want to share a story with you about when I first got started investing in real estate. You know, folks, that was some of the most incredibly frustrating times of my life, and here's why. I would buy these real estate programs, and I would fast forward these programs to the part about what do you say to a homeowner. Because, see, to me, that was the holy grail. That was the million-dollar question. What is it that you say to these homeowners? Do you tell them that you're an investor? Do you not tell them you're an investor? What do you tell them that you're going to do with their home? How do you posture yourself in the conversation? I had these questions, and I couldn't get the answers. I would buy these programs, and I would advance them to the part where it says talking to the homeowner, and I would read it, and it says talk to the homeowner. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Just talk to the homeowner? Why can't you be specific? Why can't you tell us what to say? Not only what to say, but why you're saying what you're saying. Ladies and gentlemen, it was an incredibly frustrating time in my life until I figured this stuff out on my own. There was no other way for me to do that, but I figured it out on my own, and I developed it along the way. But you see, ladies and gentlemen, as I shared with you, I didn't fall off the truck yesterday, and I recognize that I'm not alone. That new people that are getting started in investing in real estate, you have the same fears that I had when I first got started. But see, I've done something to help you just destroy those fears. Absolutely destroy those fears. It's one thing to even see in a book how to communicate with a seller. It's an entirely different conversation when you can actually listen to a national real estate expert call motivated sellers. You get to hear me call motivated sellers in our $1 Million Phone Power series. The $1 Million Phone Power series is over 2 hours of training where I did nothing but call motivated sellers. Ladies and gentlemen, now I had students on the line with me when I was placing these calls, and the benefit to that was not only did you hear what I had to say to these sellers, but you hear afterwards the feedback from the students that heard the conversation and quizzed me on, well, why did you say that to that seller, and why did you answer that question that way? One of the things you're going to discover when you listen to these recordings is, number one, not one call is ever the same. I don't believe in utilizing a script. I think that when you do that, you come across sounding like a telemarketer. So not one call in over 2 hours of calls that you're going to hear, not one of them is ever the same. Second of all, you're going to hear posture and mindset and action. I'm a big believer in posture and mindset. Now, I can try to teach you that in a book. It's another thing for you to hear how I handle those conversations with homeowners. The last thing that I want to tell you about is the takeaway. You know, I teach the takeaway. Most people teach about their methodology is more like you're coming across like a telemarketer. I don't believe in that. I believe that you take it away, and thereby you establish your professionalism, you establish your posture. Now, I teach that in my programs, but it's an entirely different Megillah when you can hear me do the takeaway on the $1 Million Phone Power trainings. So that's what the $1 Million Phone Power trainings are all about. And let me just end by telling you this. I remember one student came to me, said, TC, I've spent literally $25,000, $30,000 on real estate training. And he said, now I'm here with you and looking at your program. I said, wait a minute. All of those programs couldn't have been bad. Now, why don't you, let me ask you a question. With all this money you've spent, how many times have you actually called a home seller? He said, not one time. Ladies and gentlemen, did you hear that? Not one time. Not one time has he called. Make no mistake about it. If you don't call motivated sellers, you're not going to do real estate deals. If you can't get past your fear, another student called me and said, TC, I've been a salesperson. I make my living on the phone. And I have for over 30 years, he tells me. He said, but when it comes to that telephone and picking it up to call a motivated seller, why, it must weigh at least 500 pounds because I can't pick it up. Ladies and gentlemen, do you get this? You can have the best strategies in the world, you can have the best programs in the world, but until you address phone fear, you're not going to do deals. That's why we created the $1 Million Phone Power Trainings. 2 power-packed, high-content hours of me doing nothing but contacting motivated home sellers. Grab your copy today. Take care.